Thank you for checking out 15minutebusinessbooks.com. I'm Randy Mayu, and together with my colleague Carl Crayer, we conduct a monthly event in Dallas called the First Friday Book Synopses. Our purpose has always been the same. We find the best business books. Frequently they are bestsellers. We try to read the books carefully enough to give you the main ideas and the transferable principles that you can put to work in your own work and in your own life pretty quickly. With each presentation that we give, we prepare a comprehensive handout. Here is my recent handout of a book by Chip Heath and Dan Heath called Decisive: How to Make Better Choices in Life and Work. This is actually the third book that I've presented by Chip Heath and Dan Heath. I also presented Made to Stick and Switch. For example, next month I'm presenting the book Give and Take by Adam Grant. And so we do 2 new business books a month. I do a book and Carl presents a book. We prepare our handouts and then we give our presentations. They're 15 to 17 minutes long. We record the presentations and then we upload the recordings and the handouts to the 15-Minute Business Book site so that anyone can purchase them and use them for their own learning. What will you find in our handouts? Well, Carl and I each do our own little take on what we put in the handout. Here's what you'll find in mine, and I have evolved into this. If you look at our earliest handouts, all I have are a few quotes from the book and the outline of the key content. Now, number one, they look better. We've hired someone to design them and they look really terrific. Number two, I've added some elements. So this is what my current handout looks like. I start with, why is this book worth our time? I talk about the issues that we deal with and why this book will help us. And then every one of my handouts has many quotes and excerpts taken directly from the book. I will include these in the handout. I will read many of them, not all of them, but many of them during the presentation itself. But you can take the handout, you can look it over for yourself, you can read all of the quotes that I've included, and that will give you a feel for the author, the flow of the book, and really give you a pretty good representation of the key thoughts of the book. And then you'll find a section that begins to look like a normal presentation outline. I summarize the book over in one key thought over on the side. Then we've got probably a few things about the author, some key content from the book. And sometimes when the book lends itself, Decisive did this, I will put in a table that gives you, in this case, the key villains against good decision making, and in this case, the WRAP process, W-R-A-P. That's the template that the Heath brothers recommend in making good decisions. And then all of my handouts in recent months, the last 2 or 3 years, have included what I call my takeaways, some takeaways from the book. And so you can take this handout, you could read it on your own. It does better when you put it along with the verbal presentation. When you order from 15-Minute Business Books, landing in your computer will be the handout and the audio recording. You can print the handout out, listen on your computer. It's almost as though you were at our event. You just don't get the breakfast. On the other hand, you can load the recording into your iPhone, your smartphone, listen as you work out, listen in your car, and you'll be able to hear the presentation. But the best use is to follow the handout as you listen. Now, it's not as good as reading the book, but even if you've read the book, this will help you remember the key concepts even better. If you haven't read the book, this will give you a few of the thoughts. You can begin thinking about it. You can decide whether or not to read the book more fully. We have had a lot of people find this to be tremendously valuable. We want to thank you for checking out 15minutebusinessbooks.com, and you might want to read our blog, firstfridaybooksynopsis.com. Click the blog tab. We've got a blogging colleague named Bob Morris who has reviewed many, many books. He is really a blogging wonder. I put some thoughts in nearly every day. It'll help you think about the issues that you deal with in your own work life. Thanks for checking us out.